We bring you the lunch edition of MBC News with me here, Udangomano, coming up this afternoon. Tobacco marketing season opens in Lilongwe as government calls on tobacco buyers to offer fair and competitive prices. Government identifies a contractor to construct a temporary bridge at Nkoma in Nkotakota district. Limited access to sexual reproductive health services among young people worries youth organizations. Thanks for joining us. Minister of Agriculture, Rosa Mbilizi, has today officially opened the 2026 tobacco marketing season at Chinkoma auction floors in Kasungu with a call to buyers to offer reasonable prices. Mbilizi also urged buyers to actively purchase tobacco from farmers so that they can benefit from their produce. The highest price so far has been recorded at $3 per kilogram, while the lowest stands at $1.20 per kilogram. Mbilizi has since urged farmers to continue producing quality leaf in order to attract competitive prices on the market. She further said the ministry will work with other stakeholders to address key challenges in the sector, including child labor, forced labor and deforestation. This comes a day after the minister officially opened this year's tobacco selling season at Kanengo auction floors in Lilongwe. The tobacco marketing season is underway in Lilongwe with an appeal from the Minister of Agriculture, Rosa Mbilizi, for tobacco buyers to offer good prices. Mbilizi made the call at Kanengo auction floors in Lilongwe. Isaac Jali has a report.
It is once again that season of the year when tobacco farmers get rewarded for their toil, while at the same time generating the country's much needed foreign exchange. Opening the tobacco marketing season in Lilongwe, Minister of Agriculture Rosa Mbilizi appealed to tobacco buyers to put the welfare of farmers first before everything. Rosa Mbilizi warned that no tobacco buyer should offer anything less than the minimum prices set. She assured farmers in the country that government of Professor Arthur Peter Mutharika has resolved to protect farmers from exploitation. Mbilizi observed that although there is oversupply of tobacco, buyers should buy all the tobacco, as they did last marketing season. On production trends, Mbilizi asked the Tobacco Commission to ensure that production should always match demand to avoid oversupply. Mbilizi also asked Tobacco Commission to be innovative enough and consider investing in value addition in tobacco-related products than selling tobacco raw. Mbilizi then urged farmers in the country to be stewards of environment while also avoiding practices such as child or forced labor so that Malawi's tobacco production meets international standards. In sum, Mbilizi advised tobacco farmers in the country to desist from illegal cross-border trade of tobacco, saying it's a threat to the country's economy.
I've inspected the first day. Just for a few minutes, I saw that the tobacco that was on the auction, most of the bales were rejected, almost 99%. I had to speak to the buyers and Tobacco Commission to make sure that we stick to the minimum prices. And when we say minimum, it's minimum. The tobacco has to be bought above the minimum prices according to the grade. So since this is the first day, we expect improvements. But I'm watching, my eyes are there, and all of us want the best for our farmers. And in as far as the contract farming tobacco is concerned, the prices are very good. I really want to appreciate the buyers, our buyers. They are doing a good job.
Abi Matanda is Vice Board Chairperson for Tobacco Commission and says the Commission is committed to controlling smuggling of tobacco into neighboring countries.
Currently, we are, as a Tobacco Commission, having meetings with our foreign countries' counterparts. Like Zambia, shortly we'll be having a committee at the Chipata border to make sure that our tobacco doesn't cross border to Zambia or even Mozambique.
This marketing season, Malawi has 8 buying companies, and on the first day, tobacco prices ranged from $1.90 to $2.50 per kilogram. According to Tobacco Commission, Malawi has produced 197 million kilograms of tobacco against a market demand of 170 million kilograms. Isaac Jali, MBC, Lilongwe.
First Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Victor Musowa, says the 3-week training program for members of Parliament underway in Lilongwe will refine skills and strengthen their capacity to effectively deliver their constitutional mandate. He was speaking at the Malawi School of Government in Lilongwe when he opened the first cohort of the Parliamentary training program for parliamentarians. Olive Piri with the report.
The parliamentary training program dates back to the early 1990s and is said to have played a critical role in building the capacity of members of parliament and enhancing the quality of debate and decision-making in the House. First Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Victor Musowa, says the parliamentary training program is not just a mere academic exercise but a strategic investment in the effectiveness of Parliament. Musowa says the program equips the members to better perform their core functions of legislation, oversight and representation in a manner that is responsive and impactful. He has since urged the first cohort of the members of Parliament to actively engage during the program, share their experiences and challenge ideas in order to enhance their effectiveness as members of Parliament.
This training, I would say, is a mother of all the other trainings. This empowers members of Parliament with knowledge and activity-oriented practical skills. And as you've seen, the content of the curriculum of this program is more academic and practical.
Director General of the Malawi School of Government, Asiat Chiweza, says demands of modern governance require continuous intentional capacity building as legislators are strengthened through investment in knowledge and skills. Chiweza has since emphasized that the program is an investment in quality of democracy, the effectiveness of institutions, and transformation of the country.
We are doing this collaboratively with the Malawi Parliament. So this is a joint program that has been developed together with the National Assembly. As the National Assembly and the Malawi School of Government, this is something that builds on what Parliament has already been doing.
The first cohort of the parliamentary training program consists of 45 members of Parliament. The training program is addressing areas such as constitution, powers and privileges and legal framework governing Parliament, lawmaking, governance, democracy and human rights, as well as local government administration. Olive Piri, MBC News, Lilongwe.
Minister of Transport and Public Works, Japim Hango, has assured the public that government has identified a contractor to construct a temporary semi-concrete bridge on the damaged Ngoma Bridge along the M5 road in Nkhotakota. Hassan Piri reports.
The damage to Ngoma Bridge along the busy M5 road in Nkhotakota has brought traffic to a standstill, leaving motorists and commuters stranded. Minister of Transport Japim Hango visited the site to appreciate the extent of the destruction and the impact on road users. Muhango has since assured the public that government has already engaged a contractor to construct a semi-concrete makeshift bridge which is expected to restore traffic flow within the next few days.
So what we've done is that we have engaged a contractor, China Civil, to build what we would call a semi-permanent bridge that will enable traffic to flow. So this diversion will be able to enable traffic to flow from the southern part going to the northern part and vice versa. So the work has started today and I'm very happy that this is the case. We believe that in the next 10 days, all else being equal, we should be able to open the semi-permanent diversion so that there's free flow of traffic on this important road.
He further noted that most roads across the country have been affected by the ongoing heavy rains, leading to widespread potholes and damage. Despite the challenges, Muhango said the government under Professor Arthur Peter Mutharika's leadership is committed to rehabilitating all damaged roads by December this year.
The problem in this country is that for the past 5 years, the government then was stepping on the job. They never paid attention to road rehabilitation, road maintenance. That has been the problem. Why was that the case? The government abandoned correcting fuel levy, because in fuel levy there are two components. There is money that is used to build or to bring electricity to rural areas, MAREB. But there's also money for road maintenance. So all that money was not being collected. As a result, the government ran out of money to maintain, let alone build new roads.
Nkoma Bridge was damaged last week following heavy rains, resulting in prolonged traffic congestion along the M5 road, which is one of the busiest roads in the country. Hassan Piri, MBC News, Mzuzu.
The Department of Civic Education and the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development has launched the implementation of Civic Education Hubs, a program aimed at strengthening coordination and enhancing community engagement in the country. Speaking during the launch of the initiative in Blantyre, Acting Director in the department, Lawrence Hussein, said the forums have been designed to disseminate accurate information on various national issues such as health, agriculture, good governance and elections, among others. Ruth Chinangwa reports.
According to Hussein, the forums will also help combat misinformation and regulate the flow of information while supporting the country's aspiration of 2063 on civic education. He added, so far, the European Union has supported the implementation through the establishment of 20 hubs.
The number of times where, for example, as a country, we would promote hard work. However, you find that in other forums, for example, some churches, they will say there's miracle money. Those are two conflicting messages which we want the community to absorb. And without standardization, they are not effective. One end will lose. So we want a situation where we give out a message that is agreed between all the parties. In this case, the church and the state, where the state is encouraging people to work hard, according to my 2063. The other players should also take the same message across.
Speaking at the event, Blantyre District Commissioner Alex Ndogo said the forums will encourage communities in the district to actively participate in the development activities.
Every citizen has a role to play, be it in project identification or project implementation. Entry points usually, in our case, in the district is what we call the area development committees. But they start from as low as the village development committees. But what we see usually, people, since we have got the chairperson of the ADC, since we have got the councillors, since we have got the chiefs, then we don't have much role to play. But this civic entails that each and every citizen has the role to play in the development of his or her own country, his or her own ward, his or her own constituency. So we need the total commitment and the engagement of the general public. So civic education helps to change the mindset.
Approximately 400 hubs are expected to be established nationwide with a total project cost of 5 billion kwacha. Ruth Chinangwa, MBC News, Blantyre.
This is MBC News with me, Hilda Ngomano. A reminder of our top stories this afternoon. Tobacco marketing season opens in Lilongwe as government calls on tobacco buyers to offer fair and competitive prices. Government identifies a contractor to construct a temporary bridge at Nkoma in Nkotakota district. Limited access to sexual reproductive health services among young people worries youth organizations. Welcome back. The Lilongwe Magistrates Court has given 14 days to the state and defense teams to file written submissions in a case involving Malawi Congress Party MCP Secretary General Richard Banda and Alfred Dalla Kadula. The two are being accused of attempting to murder Frank Jawanda in February 2021. This follows an application by the defense that there should be a preliminary inquiry before the matter is committed to the High Court. We have a report.
When the court reconvened on Monday for committee of proceedings, a process where accused persons are informed that the matter will be heard by the High Court, the defense made an application to the court. Defense lawyer Kwima Mchizi says the defense believes that there is need for the lower court to conduct a preliminary inquiry in order to test the evidence that the state has for the accused before the matter is brought before the High Court.
We made an application that the matter be handled under Section 263 of the Criminal Procedure and Evidence Code, that there be an inquiry before the matter is committed to the High Court. So that's what we did, and the state has not responded today, but what has been agreed at the bar is that we should both make written submissions over the issues, and then the court will make a determination on the same.
Representing the State Director of Criminal Litigation, Zigonde Antumalunda, says they were not given prior notice for the state to file written submissions on the issues raised by the defense.
Lawyers for Honorable Richard Banda made an application to the court that they think the matter is not fit to be tried in the High Court, and then they made their arguments. For reasons that for us we are not given prior notice, we are just ambushed, we asked the court that they should give us time so that we can file our written submissions, and the court has done so and given us 14 days for us to file written submissions on the issues raised.
The court has since given both state and defense till the 8th of May 2026 to file written submissions to allow the court make determination and set a date for the hearing.
Stakeholders involved in conservation of Lake Malawi National Park and World Heritage Sites in Mangochi have been challenged to enhance skills and knowledge in effective management and protection of the park. Director of Agriculture and Natural Resources for Mangochi District Council, Nditani Malua, said this in Mangochi during the official opening of a training workshop on enhancing heritage toolkit for Lake Malawi National Park in Mangochi, organized by UNESCO. Swatindazi has compiled this report, read by Owen Mavula.
Key stakeholders in the conservation of Lake Malawi National Park and World Heritage Site are undergoing a 5-day training workshop in Mangochi aimed to equip them with necessary skills and knowledge in management of the protected area. Speaking during the official opening of the training, Director of Agriculture and Natural Resources for Mangochi District Council, Nditani Malua, said the council realizes the importance of conserving Lake Malawi National Park as it is crucial in promoting tourism industry.
The Lake Malawi National Park is an important asset in the district. It provides a lot of opportunities to the council, to the people around, and even to other stakeholders that we have.
On her part, United Nations Education, Scientific and Cultural Organization World Heritage Center Cultural Program Officer for Southern Africa Unit, Esnat Maka, emphasized the organization's commitment in conserving World Heritage sites through equipped stakeholders with toolkit for the reviewing process of the Lake Malawi National Park World Heritage Site Management Plan.
As part of the work plan for the update of this management plan, it was foreseen that this capacity building activity be held that will further guide in assessing management effectiveness that will feed into the new management plan of the property.
Director for the Department of Parks and Wildlife, Brighton Kumchedwa, described the training as vital in the management of protected sites in Malawi.
This training is going to equip our members of staff and the partners how to do assessment in terms of how have you managed the Lake Malawi National Park, what went well, what went wrong. Then that should feed into management plan, which is a guiding tool of what should happen as far as conservation of Lake Malawi National Park is concerned.
The training has attracted stakeholders from the Department of Parks and Wildlife, Department of Fisheries, Department of Culture, University of Malawi, Biology Section, District Council, and Ripple Africa.
Facts Malawi says limited access to sexual reproductive health services, SRHS, and information is still a challenge among young people, especially those living in rural areas. Speaking to NBC in Blantyre during training with peer educators and health service providers, Deputy Director for Facts Malawi, Brian Chumbi, said they want most young people to be reached with information regarding SRHS rights for them to make informed decisions about their lives. One of the participants, Nima Chitema, said misconception regarding SRHS is a challenge, and the training will help them to spread the right information.
So amongst the major challenges that young people are facing includes limited access to sexual and reproductive health services in Malawi, specifically among young people who are in rural areas who cannot easily access such services like family planning services, maybe abortion care services or HIV services. Not only that, also limited information in regards to sexual and reproductive health services is one of the challenges that young people in Malawi are facing. This prompted us to do this training. So the key areas that we are focusing on during this training are providing them with the information in regards to sexual and reproductive health and rights. First of all, they must know their rights. When they know their rights, they will be able to make informed decisions. This is pretty much the most specific area that we're focusing on.
So because of the misconceptions, it makes it very difficult for people to get assistance. There's a lot of stigma behind wanting to get assistance. This makes people very reluctant, and it often puts people in a position where they're unable to seek assistance even when it's necessary or affecting their health. One of my major suggestions would be for more awareness to be brought about, especially about sexual reproductive health rights. Not a lot of women understand what rights they have when it comes to their bodies and their sexuality and what they can do about their gender. So a lot of awareness campaigns should be put out in place, and I think a message that I would have to our government would be for them to pay a little more attention to the minors that we have now. It's a different generation, and there's more influence from the Western world, and we're not as we used to be in the past, where we had a lot of influence from our parents and grandparents in terms of advising children. Now we get more advice from the outside world, so they need to create a space outside that also ensures that our minors are safe, and also understanding what issues can come about from their sexual reproductive health and their rights as well.
In sports, the Malawi Under-23 national netball team is set to participate in the 2026 Telecom Netball League in South Africa. The games will be played from this coming Friday, 24 April to 2nd May. From Blantyre, Amen Musa reports.
The team's coach, Joanna Kachilika, has selected 25 players to participate at the tournament. Speaking after announcing her squad, Kachilika said having spent about 2 weeks in camp, the future for the tournament looks promising.
We prepared well. At first we had a total of 37 players, of which coming up with the final list of 15, we've seen their fitness, capabilities and their performances. So we're not just going there to participate, but we're going there to compete.
Netball Association of Malawi President Vitumbiko Gubuduza believes that the tournament will expose players to the world.
I believe that shows that the league is very good, and we believe that through that tournament our young girls will also be exposed. A lot of people will be watching just the same way they watch the league in Australia or England. We believe that also a lot of those scouts will also be playing in will also be watching the games in South Africa. So this is also a platform.
Malawi National Council of Sports Development Officer Wizam Soya said government expect the girls to raise the country's flag high.
We are expecting that they are not just going there to participate, but they are also going there to compete and put the Malawi nation flag on the map. We are expecting a lot. At the same time, we also know that this is part of long-term athlete development.
Malawi and Zimbabwe have been invited as guest teams. Junior Queens will start by facing KD Queens on Friday, and they'll play 8 games. Amin Musa, NBC Sport, Blantyre.
Well, that item also concludes this edition of NBC News. A reminder of our top stories before we leave. Tobacco marketing season opens in Lilongwe as government calls on tobacco buyers to offer fair and competitive prices. Government identifies a contractor to construct a temporary bridge at Nkoma in Nkhotakota district. Limited access to sexual reproductive health services among young people worries youth organizations. Keep up to date with our news coverage on our digital platforms by scanning the QR code at the top right corner of your TV screen. You were with me, Hilda Ngumano. Thanks for watching and bye for now.
Something big is coming on NBC. Not what you've seen before. A new force is about to hit the road. Crafted for presence, engineered for power, designed to turn every head before it even arrives. You'll hear it before you see it. You'll feel it before you know it. This isn't just another launch. It's the beginning of advanced broadcasts. Unveiling soon on NBC. Stay ready.